And we are live soon. Eventually this will have music and
Glitz and
some sort of
glamour.
title card or whatever. Uh, all right. If you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, just hold on 1 second. We are getting things going here. All right.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, we'll come up with some funny little intro and stuff to get this going.
It
But
should Glenn Goza, singing wrestling.
right.
Battle Ray. I've been minutes.
Hush, hush, hush. Okay.
Whoa.
All right. Well, hey, let's go. My name is Grant Baciocco, and I'm honored to welcome my good friend, timeless Levi Shapiro.
Howdy do.
You know, I was like, I want to watch some classic vintage wrestling, and who else but the timeless one himself to watch along with me. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate the thought. It's right in my wheelhouse.
That's right. Exactly. How are you? How's everything going? You're getting back out there and wrestling, I see.
Yeah. Well, I only took a real short break compared to a lot of the others because I did actually do some wrestling during, I'd say, the height of the pandemic, actually.
Right.
Which is pretty interesting. So doing that with Dave and the United Wrestling Network and stuff like that, I've stayed in pretty well. So just getting back in the swing of things with some crowds and a lot more traveling as of late, and feeling good. About to go to Atlanta, at the beginning of the month.
Excellent.
Just do some defense for the United Wrestling Network, and then a heavy hand in helping out with West Coast Pro up here in the Bay Area and stuff like that. So
right, and you're on KOFY up there now, right? Or that's coming?
Yeah. I think we did some bouncing, which is like the stations that we've bounced from are pretty awesome to say. In the we went from Channel 7 and then we did Cron 4, and now I think from Cron 4 to Kofi. Like,
right.
That's such a legendary list. Just if you're in the Bay, those stations.
That's where I grew up. I totally know it.
Yeah.
I'm there. A TV20's dance party. I was looking up videos of that last night.
Well, when Dave got the deal, I was like, "Oh yeah, dance party," and he's like, "They don't do it anymore." They don't. And I was like, "Oh well, we need to bring it back. Let's do that."
We should have the West Coast wrestlers on there.
I'm gonna make a note of that.
All right. Well, you ready to watch some vintage wrestling?
All day.
All right. Well, let's we will head over here to our little TV set.
Let's head on down to the ring.
Head on down to the ring for sure. We've got some grappler stuff today, some Pacific Northwest, so not too far from San Francisco.
There we go.
And here is a promo from the grappler talking about how he wants Kurt Hennig's AWA title.
Okay, and before you tell me, right, I want to play a game with this if we can.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to see if I can layer the territory and the year possibly, just side by side. You know what I mean? It might be very, very, very easy as soon as I see it, or it might not. So I think that'll be a fun one to play.
All right. Well, I may have given you a hint with the territory, but I won't say the date until you check this out. They may say the date in the promo, but here we go.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, he's got his tuxedo, he's got his belt. The grappler must have something very important to say with Don Owen behind us here.
You're exactly right, Don Owens. I want you to hear this right now, brother. I'm all spruced up because I guarantee you one thing. Come February 16th, in the Frank Bonham Memorial, Kurt Hennig, you bring that AWA World Heavyweight title on to me, Jack. And you know what? I'm going to make you the happiest promoter in professional wrestling today. Because right here in the Northwest area, there's going to be crowned a new World Heavyweight Champion. And Jack, you're looking at him right now, the grappler. There's one thing about it. All the wrestlers all over the country, they scrape and climb, and they go from the first match to the main event. And once they get there, their whole goal in life, Daddy, is to be a World Heavyweight Champion. Well, now I got my shot at it. Now I got my chance to world title, and I'm not going to lose it. And I guarantee you one thing, It's just like the Super Bowl for the football players. That's the coup de grace. Just like the World Series for the baseball players, brother. That's the cream of the crop for the World Heavyweight title match. It's my coup de grace. The Grappler's facing Kurt Hennig February 16th. And I promise you one thing. When I walk out of that ring, I'll be the Northwest Heavyweight Champion, brother. And I will be the new AWA World Heavyweight Champion. But I want to say one thing to Kurt Hennig and all these people of the Northwest. Whatever it takes, brother. Whatever I have to do.
Oh, big deal. It's going down.
That I have to pay, Jack.
Not the belt, though. Not the belt.
Nope. He's got suspenders.
I'll pay that price. And if it means taking this finger, boy, and shoving it down your eye socket and pulling that eye out and sticking it right down your throat, that's what I'll do. February 16th, Frank Bonham Memorial. Be ready for the grappler, Kurt Hennig, and beat me if you can.
So
I'll have to say he's got a lot of ambition, but I'm going to buy a ticket for this card myself. I think this will be one of the
yeah,
great
Don.
cards of
Okay,
the
Don.
year. And for all the action that's going to take place, I'm going to be sitting at ringside and going to make sure I got a ticket for that myself.
Well, no doubt this is going to be the extravaganza to end all extravaganzas. We thank you for putting this thing together, Don.
Well, it's a good one. It's going to be a great one, I know.
He's really selling it.
That's Tuesday
He's
night,
really
the
putting it
16th.
over.
We're going back out to the ring now to catch more action tonight from the Portland Sports Arena on Portland Pro Wrestling.
All right. So, have you ever worn a tux in a promo? Maybe you need to wear a tux.
A frilly tux, definitely. Definitely giving the, important vibes. Like, he's definitely like, all right, this is the pinnacle right here, So definitely, I think once I get into maybe a world title situation, maybe I'll bring out the big tux or something.
Yeah, the coup de grace. Well, you never hear coup de grace in wrestling promos anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that they use it on Finn Balor now.
He does. He uses it,
that's his double stomp.
Okay.
That's the gimmick name for it.
Yeah.
Funny point though, with this, obviously, right, Portland, Pacific Northwest area, I love the microphone. I realized that a few months ago when I was watching some Portland stuff. It's got the double taped microphone on it because Don Owens is probably someone is keeping a recording of Masters along with the line that feeds to the TV station and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's great. I just love that.
Yeah. Yeah, these are all from a YouTube channel called Testosterone Overload, so I want to give credit to them.
Definitely. I know that guy actually, Matt.
Yeah. I don't want to seem like we're stealing Matt's stuff here, but definitely giving him props. Well, that was the Grapplers call out. Let's hear Kurt Hennig's promo for the same match. Now, unfortunately, I'm playing all these promos and I don't have the match, but I got some of the results here. So we'll take a look at Kurt Hennig and then we'll talk about what happened.
Well, this would be good for our tabletop.
Tuesday night,
February
16th,
tabletop, man.
Portland Sports Arena is indeed a Tuesday night special. An entire slate of main events, top to bottom, make no mistake about it. And at the very head of the night, at the very top of the billing, a battle for the heavyweight championship of the world, which is as it should be. Kurt Hennig won the title, defending it all over the world, and now right here in Portland, he must face what I consider his greatest test. And Kurt Hennig, I'm going to put it to you point blank. The grappler is mean. He'll do anything to win your title.
Well, that's exactly right. And on February 16th,
look at that
heavyweight
mullet.
champion Kurt Hennig is coming to town. He's coming back to where he got his start. Larry Nelson, that is the place where I got my start in professional wrestling. And promoter Don and Barry Owens, I would like to take my hat off to them and thank them for giving me the opportunity to travel to the great Pacific Northwest and defend that belt. Now, Grappler, if you're still the champion on the 16th, you're the man I'm looking for. You see, I travel from corner to corner of the United States, and I go to the Middle East, and I go to Japan. I go throughout the world defending that belt. And now I'm coming to Portland, Oregon to prove to the world that I am the greatest wrestler in the world, and I am the man. I am the heavyweight champion of the world. Now, a lot of people in the past have come up to me and said, Kurt, you've changed your style. Maybe you're a little bit more aggressive. Are you a bad guy? Are you a good guy? The answer is very simple, my friends. I'm a great guy. And all I got to do now is clean up some of the garbage in the Pacific Northwest like I've been doing throughout the country. This is going to be the greatest night of wrestling in the last couple of years that Portland, Oregon has ever seen. It's a wrestling extravaganza. It's a Portland special. And topping off the list, the return of me, Curt Hennig, the heavyweight champion of the world. If you people want to find out what championship quality is all about, you come down and see what the champ's all about.
Oh, that's good. That was a good promo.
There you go. There you go. Do you have a guess on the year?
What is this, 88 or 87?
You got it. 88.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you can see Curt really kind of filling into himself, and it's like right before he went Mr. Perfect, and you can almost see it in his face, because I feel like his early AWA run, he was a lot less chubby in the cheeks, and he was a little skinnier, but he put on some size to go up to New York.
Yeah. Where do I get one of these statues that's in the background?
I know, right? Those are cool.
Is fantastic. All right, so they had their match, and the ending of the match was sort of disputed, and the title was actually held up. So we have Curt Hennig here talking about how he wants his title back, because I don't think it's officially recognized by the AWA, but in the storyline for these couple of days when these matches happened, it was held up. So here's a little Curt Hennig promo about his title.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the heavyweight championship belt of the AWA. And I'm standing in the Portland Sports Arena right now after the toughest night of wrestling that Portland, Oregon has ever seen. But let me tell you exactly what is going down here. Now, tonight there was some outside interference, and the boot came into play with the grappler, his so-called orthopedic boot that he wears. Well, I know what it feels like, see, because he kicked me in the stomach, and I still haven't caught my breath. Now, let me tell you something, grappler, what you've done here. This is the place where I got my start, Portland, Oregon. And the people here have been behind me since I started my career. And I came back to Portland for the big celebration to defend the heavyweight championship belt. And as I got here, and the packed house, there wasn't an empty seat in the building, they all came to see one thing: what professional wrestling is all about and what the championship stands for. And I carry that championship belt from corner to corner to the United States of America. And let me tell you something, grappler, you call yourself a wrestler, you call yourself a man. Well, they've taken the heavyweight championship belt and they've held it up. Right now there is not a heavyweight champion. Do you know what that does to me? That ruins all my obligations from the Middle East to Japan throughout the United States. I now cannot wrestle as the heavyweight champion of the world till Stanley Blackburn and the championship committee make a decision. Well, let me tell you something, grappler. The decision has been made, and the match is going to take place right here in Portland, Oregon. And I am going to tell you something. You've taken something away from me that I love very much. That belt brings me prestige, it brings me money, and it brings me a lot of pride. And I will tell the people of Portland, Oregon, and the Pacific Northwest that when this match does take place, oh yeah, Curt Hennig will remain the heavyweight champion of the world, no matter what I have to do.
There you go. No matter what he has to do. Talking about that orthopedic shoe, you've had an injury, right? That
definitely.
You understand what it's like for a wrestler to have an injury and need special equipment to deal with that injury.
Definitely. The tendons in my forearm when I broke it, they healed tighter than expected, and the impeccable grip. So I wear the glove to make sure I don't literally tear faces off of people.
Exactly. All right, so we're gonna wrap up here by watching a match. This match took place after this event between Curt Hennig and the Grappler, and they talk about it a lot in this match. This is the Grappler against another Pacific Northwest mainstay, somebody who, I remember hearing about when I was a kid. I had family growing up in Oregon, and they would talk about some of the wrestling stars up there. But this is the Grappler versus Coco Samoa.
Oh.
Sports Arena. good crowd here tonight, and we've got the Assassin with me. For
The
those,
Ushers.
Most of you just joining us
Yes.
on our network
Is he a wrestler or is he
in the
just
state
the
of
usher?
Washington, Yakima, up in Seattle. We had an explosion here this past Tuesday night in the arena, and the AWA World Heavyweight Championship was held up. That was when the Grappler met Curt Hennig. Also in that match, the Assassin was suspended. Now, one thing we want to make very clear here is that the Assassin, before he was suspended, became the TV champion. So you've got the TV championship.
That's right.
But you can't defend it now.
I can't defend it until the suspension is lifted, and as soon as it is lifted, I guarantee you I will defend it.
It's interesting that they have the Assassin and the Grappler in the territory at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, what he's referring to is that on March 5th, that belt that was held up is going to be on the line. Curt Hennig will be coming back into town to go against the Grappler on March 5th to decide the AWA World Heavyweight Champion. Here's Don Owen to make the announcement of this match.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next event will be one fall. Introducing in this corner, 247 pounds, the Grappler.
Oh, yeah.
His opponent in this corner, 236 pounds from the South Pacific, Coco Samoa.
Ron Owens, you forgot to tell these people that I'm the Northwest Heavyweight Champion and soon to be AWA World Heavyweight Champion.
You'll have to prove that March the 5th, boy.
Get it. Always a promoter.
Away,
well, one thing about the Grappler is he's like a junkyard dog, you understand? He is tough. He does take those short tactics, but you gotta admit he is a tough wrestler, or he would not be the Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion. But he does have one of the toughest men in professional wrestling today in Coco Samoa tonight here, you understand? By no means is Coco Samoa a pushover, you understand? You talk about a tough Samoan, you talk about a hard-headed Samoan, you talk about Coco Samoa. So people holler and check that boot, you understand? They know what this Grappler is all about, and they should be checking that boot.
Yeah, that's what they're yelling right now, check the boot. I think that you were talking about Coco Samoa's hard head. I think his head's almost as hard as that boot of the Grappler.
You're not kidding, you understand?
Did he have to wear that boot
Coco
like as a prosthetic?
Former Pacific Northwest
I don't
Heavyweight
know.
Champion himself,
I don't know.
So here we have a former Pacific Northwest.
I feel like that would mess up your body alignment if you had to wear like a different size boot.
This is not a title match. Look at that now.
Especially as much as he worked in it.
Yeah.
The Grappler definitely has something in that boot. This is what caused me to interfere in this world title match Tuesday night. It caused me to get suspended, caused the world title to be held
He
up.
stands pretty evenly when he stands,
And
so.
now on March 5th, this night there will be no TV at all on March 5th, you understand? AWA world title held up, Grappler versus Curt Hennig. Who will be the world's heavyweight champion?
Looks like we're going to start out with a little boxing match here between Coco and the Grappler. Yeah, both men lock up. Grappler, series of side headlocks. And now it's Coco.
Don Kosh, and now the Grappler reverses it. Let's talk, let's look at all the great wrestlers they have here, you understand? You gotta start with the Pacific Northwest Tag Team Champions, Steve Dahl and Scott Peterson, okay? Pacific Northwest Tag Team Champions. Then you look at Coco Samoa, you look at Mean Mike Miller, you look at the American Ninja, okay? You're talking about some great athletes, Billy Two Eagles, you understand? Avalanche, Rip the Crippler Oliver. I mean, you got some of the toughest wrestlers, you understand? Moondog Moretti.
Oh yeah, it doesn't get any better than Portland Pro Wrestling. When you talk about action wrestlers, this is it. This is the Mecca right here, Portland Wrestling from the Portland Sports Arena and Don Owen Promotions and Barry. And no matter where you guys may be throughout the entire Northwest, that's where the action is.
No.
That's right. I don't want to leave Art Barr.
I think Coco Samoa was pulling those tights, I think.
Great wrestling ability
Sure.
from all these great professional wrestlers, you understand? Don Owens gives you the best in professional wrestling.
And we got two of the best in the ring right now with Coco Samoa and the Grappler as both men lock up again. And now it's Coco with a side headlock on the Grappler. He'd like to get a boot lock on the grappler, but nobody can seem to do that. Sandy.
Mean Mike Miller, you understand? Mean Mike Miller, another great athlete. Beautiful tackle by Coco Samoa, leapfrog, arm drag on the grappler. The grappler stunned, surprised, don't know what's going on. Coco Samoa ready for it, baby. You know, Mean Mike Miller, he's got a chance at the Pacific Northwest heavyweight.
Pulling your mask? No way.
Next
That is
Saturday night, you understand?
dirty pool there.
Mean Mike Miller, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I predict Mean Mike Miller will defeat the grappler right here next Saturday night for the Pacific Northwest title.
Okay, mark that one down. Larry Need out in the bus there. Mark it down, Larry. Assassin says Miller's going to take it next Saturday night against the grappler. Well, Miller is ready. Man, he was hot up here.
Determination, you understand? Like I said, grappler determined that he will get the world title on March 5th. Mean Mike Miller determined that he will get the Pacific Northwest title next Saturday. Hey, when you talk about determination, it was written all over Mean Mike Miller's face when he was out there for that interview, you know. I've been up and down the roads with him, and I can see it in his face. He is determined to get the grappler right here next Saturday.
Oh!
Yeah. There you go.
Sandy Barr said drop him. And so Coco did. That wasn't exactly what grappler meant when he said he's got to release me. Coco just he just released him, backed away, and grappler went down head first on the mat. This is a one-fall match, and it is a non-title match. Grappler and Coco Samoa. Now we could not get an angle on that. Couldn't tell if it was a fist.
The grappler taking those shortcuts. I understand, Kosh, that we have a new wrestler coming in the area, Golden Boy, Mike Golden, you understand? From past experience of seeing this man wrestle, he ain't a stepping stone by no means, brother. He's a man to be reckoned with.
Yes, in fact, we've got a photo of him. We might be able to show that a little bit later. We also have a tape.
Stay tuned for that photo.
Showing you.
Yeah, that's right. We got this big photo coming up.
By Kurt Hennig after last Tuesday.
Look at the determination in Coco Samoa's eyes as he looks over at the grappler, you understand? Grappler Pacific Northwest heavyweight champion, Coco Samoa, former heavyweight champion. Coco, a very, very serious man when it comes down to stepping in that squared circle, you understand?
You bet he is. And he just took a shoulder tackle from the grappler.
Who you got in this match, Levi? Who you think's going to take it?
Well, you know, I think that Coco Samoa definitely has a fighting chance, but the underhanded tactics of the grappler is going to tell me why I see a boot coming into play.
Yeah, look at that. Grappler just...
But you know what? This really, like,
just does anything.
I've been in this realm of, like, a masked wrestler in today's world, you know what I mean? And not like a lucha wrestler, like a grappler or destroyer or assassin, Mr. Wrestling. It's severely missing, I think, you know, and done the right way, obviously, right? You can put a mask on anybody, but like an original mask and then just building the kind of character behind it. I've been debating it forever.
Yeah, in NWA there was like the question, right? Like, isn't that kind of...
the question mark. Yeah, he was doing really, and you know, it was kind of goofy gimmick, but it definitely worked still.
Yeah.
I liked that one a lot. It sucked that he passed, but and I know they have like the mask. They have another one up there, but it doesn't really kick as well as I think I would like.
Wow. Oh, that's gotta be so painful. And
well, you put on a mask, you could get double bookings as Levi Shapiro and as your mask persona.
I mean, I might just put a mask on as Levi Shapiro.
There you go.
You know, I mean, it's not the fact of hiding isn't the point of anymore, I think.
Yeah.
There goes the grappler pulling the truck, you understand? You know, down Caution with Hugo Washington, they got a big bunkhouse battle royal. That means come dress as you are to Hugo Washington. Big bunkhouse battle royal, you understand? Then in Hood River, they got a big, great wrestling night at the Armory there. You know, in Hillsborough, another big night of professional wrestling this Friday night.
Wow.
And then next Saturday night at the Portland Sports Arena, Pacific Northwest heavyweight title on the line. Mean Mike Miller facing the grappler.
Right, so it's like he's building up the week just to get the shot at the big sports arena.
Yep.
Get out of the grasp of the grappler, and unsuccessful so far. As the grappler hangs on to that armbar.
Yeah, interesting to see how they went from some kind of brawling and now they're kind of fixated in the ring with some grappling.
Well,
they don't call him the grappler. Yeah, they don't call him the grappler for nothing.
That looks maybe just like a regular normal hold, but that has got to be a tremendously painful hold.
Yeah, the pain that goes through the elbow and the shoulder area, you understand. Grappler taking advantage of Coco's arm right now. Yeah, a lot of pain going through Coco Samoa right now, and he's gonna have to pull the same determination that Art Barr had to pull a little while ago. He's gonna have to get those people behind him. They give you that determination, and that's what counts. You understand?
Hey.
Grappler still with that arm bar. Oh, and Coco just a slap, but it didn't have much effect on the grappler. As the grappler just puts Coco down, and now he stomps on Coco's left arm. There's another example of if a man doesn't have a weak spot, you try to create one, you stay on it.
Hey.
Oh, big headbutt.
Thunderous.
Oh, that was tremendous, and Grappler just kind of, yeah.
Brother, you can see the fire in his eyes, Jack.
That was like a Samoan volcano about to erupt. Here comes Grappler.
Boom.
There goes Grappler. And Coco is exploding all over the Grappler right now. There goes a whip, reversal whip, into the ropes goes.
Oh.
Coco.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
One.
He just
almost had it.
There's another headbutt. And
Uh-oh.
Tied up now.
It's another thing you can't do as much anymore. You can't get caught in the ropes anymore.
And Coco says, just let me have him. Wait a minute. What's that? What was
these? What are these things?
What are those things?
What are these things?
Coco Samoa, the grappler rolling out of the ring, and there's not a thing I can do about it.
He's wearing an assassin mask. Why is he wearing an assassin mask?
Go, Billy.
Oh, Billy Two Eagles? No way.
Guys are. They're in hood.
I know one of them is a destroyer because I seen him Tuesday night, you understand? This other big goof with a mask on, I don't know what he is.
Wow.
He's getting out of there.
Billy Two Eagles saves Coco Samoa, man.
Holy mackerel.
John Cox, how do you think I felt? I couldn't even, I had to stay here and watch something like this, man.
Oh, I know. You're going absolutely crazy up
YMCA is getting a plug-in.
Hey, sign off.
Oh, look at this. They've unfurled a banner. Longview YMCA Good Times program. Well, those folks are here tonight. We're glad to have them.
All right. Well, those folks are here tonight.
I guess we're not talking about the match anymore.
We will be back with more after these words. Don't go.
Oh.
All right. Well, there you go. The grappler, some classic grappler action.
That's cool. That's those are some good grabs right there. You know, good intensity all around.
Yeah, I agree. Well, if you Levi, if you enjoy this, we will schedule a time to do this again. Maybe make this a regular thing. We'll watch some vintage stuff from everywhere. It doesn't have to be just Pacific Northwest or from all different times. But great having you here.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been fun. I definitely would enjoy this more often than not, probably.
All right. Well, if you who are watching enjoyed it, make sure to comment and let us know. And thank you so much. We will talk to you soon.
Adios.